welcome to the Freak Show. Let's review episode 3 of American Horror Story Apocalypse, and spoiler out there for those of you who have not watched the episode. This episode was written by Manny Coto, and it was directed by Lonnie Pestri. Now, I'm going to say it now just to get the awkwardness out of the way, but I was so right when I theorized Billie Lourd's character would be a witch this season. So click on the thumbs up for my first accurate theory of the season. The episode starts out with Michael interviewing the rest of the Outpost Purples. We find out that he saved Timothy and Emily from death, and that Michael and Dinah Stevens know each other. It was a quite interesting scene because it was quite vague. Also, I loved Coco's interview with Michael. She's so damn shallow and egotistical. She's hardly aware of anyone but herself. And to me, though, it did seem like she was aware of Mallory. Now, she complained about having her around for years, but never having the heart to fire her. Really? Guys, I find it difficult to believe that Coco would have the heart for anything. I mean, she turned out her lover, Brock, who she claimed that she couldn't live without in episode 1. And she only shed one tear for everybody who had been bombed in LA, barely one for her parents and brother. The One-Liner of the Week award goes to Michael Langdon by a hair over Coco, pun intended, when he said, "True darkness requires a certain depth of character, but you're much too shallow for any kind of meaningful negativity." Guys, I honestly, I can't stop laughing over that one. I know I've said it once, and I'll say it 1,000 times this season. I'm really enjoying Cody Fern's character. He's freaking brilliant as Michael Langdon. The writers, coupled with his tremendous acting skills, are making an incredible character. And Mallory has power, guys. Major power. Michael explains to her how he wants a world of evil, and her emotions rise, and she mentally bitch slaps Michael, practically into the next room. And Michael, being the Antichrist, showed us his true demon face and asked Mallory who she was. Now, she replied that she didn't know, and I gotta say that this scene was fucking brilliant. Next, Michael is having a convo with Satan. And guys, he's straight out of A Nightmare, the one where you show up to work naked. Now, he says to Satan that he thought that he destroyed them all, but one survives, and to please send Bacon so he'll magically know what to do. Now, we all know that he's talking about Mallory. So is he referring to her being the witch? Now, if so, isn't Dinah one too? That's the impression that I got. So he can't be referring to Mallory's witchy ways because she isn't the only one left. She's not the only one that wasn't destroyed. So something about Mallory made him speed dial Satan, because you know when that hotline bling, it can only mean one thing. Now, who do you guys think that Mallory is? Next, we hear Miss Mead reminisce with Venable about Halloween and her life and how much it meant to her. Now, she's having an existential crisis since discovering baby she was programmed that way. She has memories and once felt love for a little blonde child. And it kind of makes me wonder if Michael was that blonde. However, she feels it was programmed into her, so I guess it's neither here nor there. Venable tells Miss Mead that she's family to her, but sadly Venable won't be going to the sanctuary. And Miss Mead suggests that they kill everyone, including Langdon, and they take his laptop and they go to the sanctuary for themselves. Now, guys, that is one cold-ass robot. Step your ass back, RoboCop. Here comes Miss Mead. Now, Brock is back, y'all, and all of y'all out there were right. Brock survived the apocalypse and is one badass guy. And despite her breaking up with him when the apocalypse hit, he's still searching for Coco in the outpost. And I can't believe I forgot him being fitted for latex earlier this summer. I wondered what that was for, and I guess now we all know. Now, he finds Outpost 3, and he's hiding under a carriage bringing apples to the group from the cooperative. When Amazon Eve goes out there to take care of the horses, take care of them, Brock kills her by stabbing her in the throat. I mean, damn it, Brock. I mean, I get why you did it, but I mean, did you really have to do that? I mean, it's Amazon Eve and it's only the 3rd episode. The apples delivered to the outpost give Miss Mead an idea to poison the apples and give them to everybody in the outpost, hence as a way to kill them. Now, as y'all know, I've made videos showing the episodes are including an element from every past season. So far, I've seen Coven and Roanoke, so if you see some connections in this episode, please leave them in the comments, and I'll make sure to include them in my next video as well as crediting you. Mallory talks to Mr. Gallant and Coco about the upcoming party. And, I mean, can I just ask very quickly, what the hell is going on with Coco's hair? We finally get to see the birdcage-like hairdo this episode. Now, guys, I get wanting to be extra without real hair products in the apocalypse, but this is wandering into Roanoke Mott family territory here. Get a grip, Coco. Mallory tells them about her strange interview with Langdon and how she set the room on fire. Coco calls her basic ass out, and Mallory can't perform the same trick, reminding us all once again how basic her ass really is. Now we're halfway through the review, and I'd like to take a moment to thank my patrons. Alicia, Mia, and baby Jalen George, No Tell Hotel, Michael Mullins Wright, Jeremy Oren, Vic and Stark, Kenny Joseph, Shane Sultan, Joseph Anthony, Don Ford, Ex Misa, Scott Bryant, Jill Post, Ray Myers, Leah Bashford, Rez Ramirez, John Morgan, The Leopard Cat, Connor Thane, Cody Spencer, Sookie Fawn, Shane, Mike Gedney, and Debbie Ebby Babebby. To become a patron and earn tons of reward for just $1, click on the link in the description. Now we move on to the Halloween party, and bitch, I am ready to be shook. Now, Coco doesn't disappoint us with dancing with somebody she thinks is Michael Langdon and that terrible hair. Now, Michael has been terribly absent after he was so shook. And we all know that Brock is the one dressed in the very witchy-looking mask. And she takes him into her room with the promise of Anal Angus, and which, you know, should not be confused with Colonel Angus. And Brock reveals himself. It's pretty funny to see Coco try to talk her way out of this, but Brock just isn't having it, and he stabs her in the freaking head. Happy Halloween, Coco. Let's see you resurrect from that one. Now, I'll give it to the viewers. There are tons of biblical references everywhere in this episode. Even Mr. Gallant refers to it. And how ironic is it that Miss Mead and Venable used snake venom to poison the apples for the last remaining people on Earth? The Purples and Mallory, of course the only gray that matters, gather to eat their apples, and they all die terrible, horrible deaths, reminiscent of Roanoke when the butcher poisoned her colony. When Miss Mead and Venable confront Michael, he makes Miss Mead shoot Venable and reveals that he was the one commanding her and came up with the poisoned apples idea and sent it to her CPU, so to speak. Now, he also reveals that Miss Mead was someone special to his childhood, and he is the little boy from her memories. And he programmed her to forget the plans that he set up, but now it's time for her to remember. And I gotta say that this scene came out of nowhere and tied the bow on that perfect little package. It was a perfect twist with tears, death, and hardcore emotion. I did not see that coming, as well as them forgetting all about Venable, who lay dying on the floor behind them. That was some hard, cold shit. So now everyone is dead in the common room, and there's puke everywhere, which is quite reminiscent to the morning of my 20th birthday party. And the Rolling Stones start playing on the Untouchable jukebox. Now we finally see the witches that we have been waiting for, guys. The witches, we're so fucking badass, we don't need radioactive gear, are back. They go inside the outpost and they tell Madison and Myrtle to find their sisters. They pull out Coco, Dinah, and Mallory from the dead pile. Cordelia pulls her "I'm a supreme bitch" powers out of her little pocket, and she resurrects Coco, Mallory, and Dinah. And when they wake, Madison sits on Mallory's legs and says, "Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me." Now, to me, this implies that they knew each other before the apocalypse. And I wonder if next episode will reveal if Mallory is related to Madison or not, and how Madison is still alive. I have a deep suspicion that Coco knew that Mallory was a witch like her and kept her around specifically for that reason. And Cordelia Good is my favorite Sarah Paulson character, and she absolutely wipes the floor with her talent on this show. And we don't know, guys, if Venable survived, and, I just don't think she does. But considering the fact that 3 people were resurrected during this episode, perhaps you can even admit that anything is possible. And what the fuck, guys? Timothy and Emily were so special. Guess we're never gonna find out now. What a way to tie that loose one up. Pfft. Now, as y'all know, I love your theories and ideas, so make sure you leave them below. What do you think of episode 3 of Apocalypse? I'm giving it a 9.5 for its quick wit, sharp multiple twists, and the return of the witches who slid into this season smoother than cat shit on a linoleum floor. If you'd like to support the channel, leave a like or a dislike, and subscribe. Link to my group, The Freaks of AHS, on Facebook is in the description. Weekly Wednesday live streams are every single Wednesday, and Beyond the Horror, my unofficial American Horror Story after show, is every Wednesday night immediately following the current episode of American Horror Story Apocalypse. Watch out for more theory videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and beware of sexy scappage.
Beware of sexy scappage.
AHS Apocalypse premieres Wednesday, September 12th on FX.